Hello there everyone, and welcome to a commentary of StarCraft 2. My name is Crimson. I like to do commentaries between myself, games that I've played. This is actually one of the newer ones when StarCraft 2 was first released. Um, the basic purpose, this is actually a game between myself, Crimson, and Hedge. Um, I believe this is Metalopolis, and I am playing as Protoss, doing something funky with my rally point there. And, I just want to start out by saying that I want to try and create commentaries for games of my own, and maybe some other people that do gold, silver, and platinum level games. I am a platinum right now. I started out as gold, and in the beta I was actually bronze. I was so bad. But this is a StarCraft 2 release game, um, so yeah. I'm going to try and talk about builds in my commentaries. I'm going to try and help the lower players, like I said, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Even though platinum isn't really considered low level, but honestly, I think even platinum players have room to improve. It's kind of like a day 9 type of thing. The only difference between me and day 9 is you will not be seeing me, as I do have agoraphobia and I don't like to show myself. Doing these commentaries is actually kind of for me, but just I love the game. I wanted to share some thoughts and see what people think. If you hate me, so be it. Don't watch. If you love me, subscribe. Awesome. So now that we've got that out of the way, I am doing some scouting because that is what you want to do. I don't know if I knew that this guy was Terran or not. This, like I said, one of the earlier games, it was just in my Wii game folder, so I decided to do a commentary on it. And I don't remember anything about it. I do have a zealot out. Or I'm getting a zealot. He's getting a marine or something like that. I believe that it's the productions tab. I can't tell because, unfortunately, with Wii Game, I cannot actually sync up my audio with the video in the actual game. The audio gets all funky, so when I do the audio, I actually have to do it from within Windows Movie Maker. So the sound is all wonky and everything else. Maybe somebody can actually tell me some trick to get that to actually work. I only use Sound Recorder. I'm not using some like Uber sound recording software or anything like that. But he is now sending a Marine out to scout, I believe that is. Yep. And he did not set an attack pattern. He was just trying to scout. I do believe I'm getting another gateway in there. Again, this is early in the game, so I don't have a build. I have no idea what I'm doing for the most part. I'm just kind of winging it. So the first two uploads that I'm going to do, this one and another one later on, are going to be more just for fun. And then I will do some more educational videos later. But, I just wanted to get my rep out, let people know who I am. Crimson, right here. And hopefully you guys like it. If not, again, there's no reason in the world you have to watch it, especially if you dislike it. So he's getting another bunker down, I believe that was. Yep. So 2 bunkers, fairly good wall in. That's actually pretty typical for every Terran, including nowadays. And what I mean by nowadays is this game is probably 3 months ago. Actually, how long ago was it that StarCraft 2 came out? I don't remember the exact date because I'm not that much of a nerd, but I actually got the game about a week after it came out, and this was one of the first games that I played. But he does have a factory down. He's actually got a pretty good build order. I did play in the beta, but I was just winging it. I didn't play all that much in the beta because of real life circumstances. Getting some warp gates now. Chrono boosting my forge, so I am getting upgrades. Yay! That's actually one thing that I will be discussing in a later video, but as of right now I'm going to continue focusing on this. He's got 2 geysers going, so I'm expecting tanks, I think. Doesn't look like he's getting tanks, though. We'll see. I don't know. I have no idea. Blind commentary. Haven't seen this game in so long. Like I said, just been sitting in my Wii game folder for about ever, and getting another barracks. He's just pumping units at this point, and I'm not sure where he's going with that guy. Scouting in the wrong direction if he is scouting, or maybe he's going to go for a expansion elsewhere. That would be interesting. Typically, when you're expanding, you want to try to expand away from your opponent. I know that's especially the case for Zerg. I don't play as Zerg, but we're watching the... yes, he is getting an expansion. And this is smart, because on a map of this size, you don't really want to take your natural, because that's too obvious. Like, oh, he's got an expansion, and it's right below his main. So this allows him to mine freely until I find it, if I find it. And if I don't find it, and I wind up killing off his main, he still has a fairly decent chance of somehow getting back into the game before I find it and kill it off. He might be able to reinforce. Maybe he can lift off some barracks and move them over there or something. Who knows? Nevertheless, he's getting an expansion down. I've got 3 warp gates in. I've got a forge. I'm just now getting a Twilight Council and a robotics facility. A bit late. I think I'm at 48 food, which, yeah, that's kind of late. You want to try to get that robotics facility, especially against the Terran, because Banshees are such a threat against Protoss and Zerg. And other Terrans. But the thing about it is, against other Terrans, they can use scans, so Banshees aren't all that feeling. With Protoss, you need an Observer. With Zerg, you need an Overseer. Or cannons for Protoss work as well, or Spore Colonies for Zerg also work. For Terran also, turrets, missile turrets, which you can get by grabbing the engineering bay. I'm sure everybody knows these things now. But if you're just now thinking about laddering, these are pretty interesting things to note. So I've got a crap ton of Stalkers and a few Zealots. Stalker was my staple. That was my unit. And it's kind of still is. I love Stalkers. They are so good against just about everything. Just about. I'm not going to say that they are the best unit in the game, because they're not, but they're great against Banshees. They're great against, in my opinion, they're pretty good against Marauders. Granted, you need quite a few of them to kill off the Marauders, but still, I think they're a pretty even battle between Marauders. Marauders usually crush them because there's more Marauders. You can make Marauders a little bit quicker than you can Banshees. Or not Banshees, than Stalkers, because of the cost. I think it's a 25 mineral difference, and I think the gas is the same. I don't play Terran, so I really don't remember. I played him in the beta. It doesn't really apply to now, as things have changed. Got an observer over his base, so I do see what is going on at his front. I do not know that he is expanding. Granted, I am expanding actually pretty close to where he is, or his expansion is, as you can just now tell. So I'm expanding literally just one expansion. Forget that. I have no idea what I'm trying to say. I do have a warp prism now. Not quite sure what I'm doing with it at the moment. Just looking at my base noobishly, taking a look at my saturation. That is very well saturated, I do believe. Again, early in this game, so guess I'm... Oh, wow. I thought I was scouting, but I'm going to completely miss this, so ouch, that sucks. So I do move this over. I guess I want to try a drop in the back of his base. Yes, alright, so I moved my observer over to the back, to the vents there. And usually you want to place something in the vents. Usually it's a supply depot, or maybe an overlord for Zerg, or if you're Protoss, you want to put a pylon in those vents, because things like this can happen. So he has no idea that that's back there. I'm moving my observer back over to the front. And I do believe I am pausing this now, so stay tuned for part 2 and the conclusion, I do believe, of this game between myself, Crimson, and Hedge.